Behold, it is I, Gato Phantasma. I am among you again, sweet mother of baby Jesus. This is my Ardbert, warrior of darkness, uh, commander deck tech. I've seen other people play or build this deck wrongly, so I'm coming out to show you how it's done. Um, we're going to start with my very few mana rocks or mana enablers. Uh, just Dark Ritual, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, and Relic of Legends. Besides Arcane Signet, these things are bonkers. Um, and Arcane Signet's still okay, but maybe I could gut it because I'm trying to play on curve, not ramp above. But the key to this deck is you want as many 1-drops and 2-drops that are legends as possible and that have certain combat abilities, mostly evasion. So the 1-drop with flyers, with flying, they're the best. These guys are okay, so first strike and then the extra text. And this guy becomes a lifelinker, which is great. So mostly in these 1-drops, you're looking for flying, lifelink, death touch, and otherwise there's these protector guys like the Duke and Skrelv and Zach Fair. So they're like your legend moms. And Yoshimaru's just the strongest. And mostly every single one of these you have in your hand, you play at turn 1 so that it's ready to start getting bigger from Ardbert right away. And the 2-drops, you want them to be Orzhov unless they, I don't know, are good otherwise. So, and you would play all these on turn 2. Even Abigail, you might want to sandbag it for its second ability, but you can just choose nothing and just play it on turn 2. Or you can upgrade one of your other guys to give them lifelink and flying. So, yeah, you might want to do that to any of these guys. So basically you want best case scenario, you get a 1-drop turn 1, a turn top drop turn 2, and then turn 3 you're going to play Ardbert. And then turn 4, unless you ramped or something, you can start playing these 3-drops after Ardbert, or turn 4, best case scenario, play 2 more 2-drops that are Orzhov and pump your team up all the way up by 4 on that turn, and then you're getting very aggressive on your opponents. Most of my 3-drops, since I'm not playing them on curve, they're giving me value somehow since my card draw is incredibly slim. So we'll go up to my value and card draw. This guy is not a legend, so, but he has death touch, which helps him to just stay back and block, or mostly threaten to block, but he has a card draw thing on him. Killian's Confidence. This card's just bonkers for this deck. It's continual card draw and continual Orzhov spell that you can just keep casting over and over again and get back instantly. Yeah, Lunar Convocation is pretty decent, but it's usable, and Can't Stay Away is also pretty decent, but it's playable. But to get to the rest of my card draw, it's going to have to come from my legend creatures. Like, so the first one, this guy gives me clues, and he is flying, so that's why he's playable, even though he's not Orzhov. You just play him on turn 2 and it's fine. This guy also is not Orzhov, but it's a ramp card draw a little bit, but it actually does the trick. This Abigail is also just bonkers for this deck. Easy to prepare, and then you get a spell attached to a creature which triggers Ardbert. Just insane. And it also has flying, which is great. Rena, flying already, great. This card also allows me to draw cards and put more counters on my creatures like they need that. But Brina has played very well already. Um, Next card, Timna the Weaver, or Cecil Harvey, this version. It's a CEDH commander, but in here it's very good. It's just one of the value pieces that allows you to draw many cards. Kambal doesn't give any value, but I still think he's pretty good. He might be cuttable because he doesn't exactly do what I want 3-drops to do, but I'm still going to play him, and gaining life is good. Lauren of the Third Path, not an Orzhov, but it's card draw and it destroys things. Still a legend, natural vigilance. Possibly you could cut it for something better that's Orzhov, but Luris is absolutely great. Has natural lifelink, and then you can also just cast 2 and 1 drops from your graveyard, and that helps you rebuild after a board wipe. Teysa, yeah, this is just investigating to get clues to maybe draw cards, but she's got Death Touch and extra text. She's still pretty good. Vinat, another card draw engine. This, I've never flipped it over, but it's done okay so far. I've cut it from other decks with there are too many colors, but in a one color or 2 color deck, I think it's pretty good. Legends matter, obviously. Zorleen, I like this guy. He's resurrecting. He's trying to resurrect things that's value 3 or less, and it does work. And he has flying. He's pretty good. So that's the end of my 3 drops. So 4 drops. Kokobo Knights, not legend, not Orzhov. So when you play it on turn 4, you're trading away that menace for double strike, and then you'll have double strike for the rest of the game, so long as your creatures have counters. Yeah, this card's bonkers. I kind of can't give it up. Drana and Linvala, this card's just basically good, and already flying, and then it shuts down activated abilities, and then I can have them. It definitely has shut down some things once so far, so I wouldn't consider cutting it because it's just too cool. Alanda, this one has played for me, and has already been coming out as a 10/10 to start, and hexproof from instance is near hexproof because most good removal is already instant speed. So, but it can still be removed by sorceries if it comes down to it. But this has played well for me, so I'm still keeping it in. Felisa, so it's a 4-drop Orzhov legend, but the last text on it, whenever a non-token creature dies, create X tapped Inklings with flying, which is X is the number of counters. So if someone board wipes and I have 10 counters on things, I just get 10 Inklings, and it's just as devastating as my regular team. So this one's a good backup plan. You get her on board, and then you're sort of safe from board wipes. This Vincent is also great. The flip side no longer gets counters, but you put counters on it with Ardbert. And the trample lifelink is just great. And this guy has won me a game because someone tried to wipe the board, but this guy just kept surviving because I would just keep flipping him over. And so I won a game with just this on the board, and actually no lands. They wiped out everything. And then my 2 5-drops are a little clunky, but each of them after cast gives all your creatures +4/+4, essentially, unless they aren't legend or aren't fully Orzhov. Deathbringer Liege, even though it's not legend, like you can come back in games where if you have plenty of mana, you can play this and play a spell and kill a guy, um, and it can bring you back. So this guy definitely a toolbox that can be used. Um, and I'm playing these enchantments even though they're a little dangerous to play, as all enchantments are. But just this card, it gives a creature +3/+3 while also giving everything +2/+2. So it's like 1 mana overrun. Like you get menace and lifelink. Like there's that. And then this one just gives you flying and lifelink. It's alright. And let's go back up to my interaction. Um, so I'm playing all the best 2 mana Orzhov cards that I could find that interact with boards, and I'm also just keeping the 1-drop Path to Exile and Source of Plowshares in, and Thraben Charm, just the best card. I have this in any deck that has white in it because out of all charms and things that have modes, this is the best one. It's just destroy target enchantment is the baseline, but exiling people's graveyards is the best ability. And then the first one, twice the number of creatures to target creature. That's even possibly played even if you only have 1 creature out. You can just deal 2 damage to something and kill it. I've definitely used Thraben Charm for its first ability, even with very few creatures on board, and it's still good. Out of the 3 mana things, I know other people have been cutting Anguished Unmaking and Vindicate from decks from 3 mana removal cards, but I'm keeping those 2 in, as well as Kaya's Guile, because exiling those graveyards is my favorite thing to do. And Kaya's Guile is so funny because you can entwine and get all the other abilities too, but it's really just 4 life and a spirit, which is just cute, I guess. Urza's Ruinous Blast just seems like an auto-include, and Clever Concealment is just the best protection spell for this deck ever, because after you attack, you have Vigilance, so all your creatures are untapped still, and then you can just tap them all to phase them out, cost no mana, cost no attackers, and this definitely has played very well. And that's how we're going with this deck. So this deck is supposedly a white weenie deck, and but we're still going to keep it at 37 lands, just low on the mana rocks, and all of my lands that I'm playing so far, I'm trying to have them come into play untapped, or they're a workaround to get them to play untapped. Like Minas Tirith, you have to have a legendary creature. I can work around this. This one I have to have a plains. I can work around that. The Snarl, you have to reveal a plains or a swamp. Yeah, so all of them come into play untapped. Bogart Trawler is that it can play untapped, and Glasswing Grace. This is the only one that specifically comes into play tapped, but it's just another one of those Orzhov enchantments that are insane. And I'm keeping the Vault of the Archangel in as the utility land. It gives Death Touch and Lifelink, which are the keywords, 2 keywords that I don't get from Ardbert. So, and having Vigilance, Menace, Death Touch, and Lifelink all at the same time is just a nightmare for them. What this deck can do is, if no one wipes the board or no one targets Ardbert, this deck I just aggro people down way too quickly. So normally people at least kill Ardbert once, and then I just replay him for 5, and then keep going. But the incidental life gain, but oftentimes it's life gained from a creature that got raised to like 5 power, so you can just keep gaining life. Um, and then if someone wipes the board completely, you'll have like 45 life, and everyone else will have like 16 or 23 health. Like, so they're going to be um, in a precarious position while you can rebuild without worrying about your position. Um, and so far, that's how it's worked. It's won more than its fair share of games, um, and requires a board wipe to take this deck out. So this sideboard is actually cards that I cut. Um, Bukabog was cut for Bogart Trawler, and this Umbral Expanse, I like it because it's new and looks nice, but since it comes into play tapped all the time, I had to cut that. And yeah, I just don't have room for those. Ashnod was fun, but the extra text truly is flavor text. No one's ever using that stuff. Not even in any deck. I never want to sacrifice my creatures. They're too valuable. Um, Fragmentize I cut for the Orzhov 2-mana thing. It's funny because I cut a 1-mana card for a 2-mana card because I wanted the Orzhov. And Isamaru is cute, but just no combat text, and Yoshimaru is better. This guy, he gave me legendary humans have indestructible. There's only like 8 legendary humans in the deck, depending. So building around legend humans is tough, but it's a fun keyword, indestructible. Also cut this talisman. I would cut it for a land, but I don't want Arcane Signet and Talisman in any game, like both at the same time. Maybe just one, but maybe I don't want either. This Comball, he just got cut because I don't want to keep track of all of his text, and Timna the Waver just gives me value, while this kind of gives me a little bit of stuff. This Kaya, it's sort of like a 3-mana removal card for Soul Rings, really. So I already have Vindicate and Anguish Unmaking, so she's not making the cut. Mortify, yeah, it's getting cut. And then this I had as like a protection spell and draw 2. It's okay, but it's not where I want to be. I want 2-mana Orzhov. And Siphon Mind, it's just one of my favorite cards. It's just so much value, like a 6 for 1 or whatever. But when I play it, I lose my chances at the Vigilance that turn, possibly, unless I have a 1-mana white spell. And it's just not where I want to be. I want something that's Orzhov and costs 3, really. So, so these are the cards still considering. Actually, we're going to cut Winter. Winter's already has Vigilance and Menace, so that's just extra text. And then the equipment part is extra text. But you can return him to the battlefield. He's just like a human version of Can't Stay Away, which I'm never gonna play that. Reprieve is sort of a protection spell that I was thinking about playing because it's sort of a counter spell, but it really just slows them down. But I need more protection, so it's still in considering. And Aunt May, I don't have any spiders, but it's just a legend version of other similar cards, which I would consider. I don't like that Spider-Man thing though. And Silver Quill Charm, I'm surprised this isn't in yet, but it's good. And I don't know, I just didn't find a card to cut yet. And this card's funny. Conjurer's Band. For a whole turn cycle, someone can't play their commander, I guess, or if you know they have a certain card in their hand, they can't play it, and you draw a card, and all your creatures get +2/+2 and Vigilance and Menace. So that would be fun. I just don't have a space for it that I can find. And in Vault of Champions, this is one of the last expensive lands that I have not gotten yet, but it will definitely just go in for a swamp, most likely. Um, so that is it. That's my Ardbert coming at you deck. Ardbert, he's my newest deck. Most of my new decks are Final Fantasy. He's Final Fantasy 14, so I don't know him because I don't play the online ones. But he's very strong and he is very aggro. He's coming at you. Great deck. Alright, guys. This is Gato Fantasma signing off.